Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently defending a holovid facility, and we were just attacked in melee over here on our Clint, which is losing some armor. Let's see here. This is phase 16. Who else moves in this phase? The Razorback does. I think we do want to move this Clint immediately, and we can't vigilance it. So I'm trying to think of a location that would be safer while still being able to attack the weak side of this Hornet. That would be the ideal position, and unfortunately we can't sprint. So I'm not sure how realistic getting to that position is. Maybe we just position here, go for a kick, and don't fire the ERPPC? I don't know. Let's see here. This would put the left side over this way. We may end up losing this arm in this situation. But I think that's acceptable. There's nothing really in that arm. Fingers crossed. We hit the melee. That was a lot of damage there. The Hornet pilot is bleeding out and ejected. Fantastic. Okay, that is wonderful right there. So, the Cyclone is going to melee attack the Hatchetman, and it missed again. This is on the other side of the facility here. And this battle isn't going too well for us. This is our ally versus the second Lance. We'll see what we can actually end up doing about that. But the Razorback is going to move now. It comes in for a melee on the Javelin. Let's see if it hits. This is a charge. It missed. That's huge for us. This Razorback is now wildly out of position and unsteady.
Commander?
Which means we can come in here and go for a rear arc melee on this Centurion. I'm going to go for it up here. And let's just think about what direction. This will have the right side this way. They'll be able to maybe respawn to this, but look at these hit odds. I like it. The Centurion is very weak in the rear arc. This is likely to do a lot of damage. Once again, it's risky. But we hit the melee, and let's see if it pays off. That did a lot of armor damage. Not a lot of internal damage, but next round, that will be a lot of internal damage. The Hunchback is going for that Hatchetman again. That's a structure exposure on the Hatchetman. Wonderful. Phase 14. Okay, so the Centurion is going to back up. Oof. That was definitely the danger point there, right?
This is getting serious.
Okay, so I believe that was an arm destruction. Yeah, that's an arm destruction, but otherwise not too bad. Like, there was nothing in that arm. So we don't necessarily care about that. There's apparently landmines up there. That Hatchetman is doing a lot of damage up there.
Standing by.
That's good to know. So our Centurion is, of course, going to work on closing in over here. And I'd like to come up over here.
Copy that.
I would like to fire on... Just checking hit odds here. The Watchman. Light him up.
Confirm.
Sadly, we missed with the Ultra Autocannon. I was under the impression that was in X2 mode, but it doesn't seem like it was. It's not the end of the world. Okay, a reasonable hit there on the Razorback. We have a phase 20 mover in this tank here. Unfortunately, the Centurion moves again before the stealth does. Oh, but it decided to do that, so we don't care.
Standing by.
Okay, so now the Javelin is, I think, going to close in on the Watchman here. I would love to get rear arc on this guy. I don't think we can get into the rear arc. At least not en melee. We could get up into the rear arc up here and attack like this. And I like this odds. Now, it's not going to do a lot of damage. We know that. That's okay. The mobile HQ is going to fire on that Razorback and miss. That's fine. And then, there's an Inner Sphere Standard up over there. That's good to know. These guys are in some serious danger up there. I'm glad we don't have to deal with that, if I'm honest. I would love to come up here and attack this Watchman. And actually, yes, this is really solid. I like this. This is side arc, which isn't ideal, but it'll do.
On the move. Engaging.
That's a successful melee. Very nice hits there on the Watchman.
I think I hit something good.
Okay, so this guy moves phase 16. Yeah, this Cyclone is coming up and attacking the Hatchetman. They're still working on that guy. They have 3 phase 16 movers. The Watchman backs off, goes for the Stealth's weak arc, but we're okay. What else are they going to move here? They're going to move the Razorback, which is a little unfortunate. We'll see what they decide to do with that. And then I think something over on the other side. Okay. The Stealth is doing fine for now. And yeah, the Sentinel on the other side. And it just turned and didn't actually fire. We're going to close in with our Centurion here. We have clear unobstructed LOS on all 3 of these. I think, given these hit odds, that we're going to attack the Razorback here.
Firing all weapons.
Decent damage there, and we tagged it. That's good. Our friend the Hunchback not really doing anything. Our Stealth is going to move up into the rear arc of the Centurion, and we're going for the kill here. I want that LBX AC-10 out of the fight. We missed our kick, which is unfortunate. And almost everything else. We missed almost everything there. That really sucks. We had very good hit odds there, but that was just a very poor roll. These guys are still working on that Hatchetman and barely doing anything to it. Please, attack the mobile HQ. Please attack the mobile HQ. Excellent. Let's see what these turrets end up doing here. Not a whole lot is the answer. Okay, Inner Sphere Standard moves, does not fire.
Ready for orders.
Our Javelin is, I think, going to come up here and go for the rear arc melee attack on this Centurion.
On it.
I want this Centurion taken care of. Okay, that's LBX AC-10 slugs destroyed. Fantastic.
Scored.
At the very least, that's the LBX out of the fight. Okay, phase 21, the Watchman moves. We'll see what he does here. Just moves. Does not fire. I like it. Good damage onto the Razorback there. Not amazing, but it'll do. Mobile HQ going for the Centurion and missing, even though it's knocked down. Oh boy.
Waiting for
Wonderful. So, here's the question. There's still a lot of armor left on this Centurion. I think we have to melee this. I don't really like meleeing it here, but I think we have to. There we go. Pilot ejection. That'll do the trick.
Come on, mech warriors. It's go time.
Okay, phase 18. So they're going to move their Razorback, but we also have allies that will move in this time. The Thorn didn't fire. There's a lot of units over there that are just not firing. Same with the Sentinel. Okay, there's some actual damage onto that Hatchetman. And a mech shutdown. Okay. Barely over the line there. That's bad luck for them. The Razorback moves up. Goes for the stealth. That... Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. How exactly did they get an engine crit there? Like, no, seriously, how did they get an engine crit on the stealth? They hit into the arm. They destroyed the arm. I'm assuming there was damage transfer into the torso. And we may have had an XL engine. We'll have to look at that after this is done. Because I definitely didn't expect an engine destruction there. I definitely did not expect an engine destruction.
Roger.
Well, we'll look at that after this is over and see if we can figure out what happened there.
Putting one in the back.
So there's some rear arc damage on that Watchman.
That hit something good.
But yeah, I would not have expected an engine destruction there. That went in through the arm. I think the torso was weak. Maybe it was just an unfortunate crit. I didn't see the torso get destroyed.
Aye, aye.
And if we were running an XL engine, well, there's part of the problem. But we're going to move up with our Centurion here. And we're going to fire on this Watchman rear arc.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Not as much damage as I was hoping for there, in all honesty. That Hatchetman is still alive. Okay. So at this point, these guys over here, they're pretty much going to lose this fight. We're not going to deal with them, though. It's only 2 rounds to reinforcements, and we don't have a way to get over there. So we're going to come over here instead, and let's see here. Where's the Razorback facing? So we're going to have to sprint in order to get into rear arc here. That's okay. We'll sprint to here, and we'll light up that Razorback's rear arc a bit. I was hoping that that would get a kill, but nope, no such luck. Repairing the stealth shouldn't be too bad, based on what I saw there, though. I think that was just an extremely unlucky engine crit. Which is okay. I mean, we've had bad luck basically this whole mission, but we're making do. Okay, that's an arm destruction. There was nothing in that arm.
This isn't looking too good.
No, it's fine. There was nothing in that arm. The Watchman moves up. Also goes for that same arc on the Clint, but hits the Razorback pretty hard instead. That's okay.
Orders?
So the Clint at this point is going to move in and go for the rear arc attack on the Watchman. This is likely a kill.
Affirmative.
Excellent. Yep, that's a kill.
That's a kill.
Perfect. Mobile HQ, not doing anything. Hunchback, firing on that Hatchetman. That's probably finally a kill. Yeah, it took him long enough. Okay, so the Thorn is going to attack over there and not really do anything. I mean, this is fine. We only have 2 more rounds, right? So it's okay. I'm assuming Coldfire isn't dead. No, Coldfire is not dead. The Centurion is going to close in here, or maybe we stay put, actually. This is a better range for us. I'm going to fire the Ultra AC5 in X1 mode. We're below 50%. And that'll get us some damage there. Don't really know what's going on over here. Oh, they're firing on that large military building. That's fine. They're not going to down that. Nice shooting on the Razorback. We'll take that. Okay, this guy moves forward, does not fire. This is, of course, the last round here. So we're going to move in. We can't melee from up here, but we're going to position here.
I copy.
And we're going to fire on this guy's rear arc. That's a listen kill ammo explosion. Very nice. And the MML5. Okay, so that's done. So at this point, the Clint is going to switch into long-range targeting, and we're going to sprint to see if we can get any LOS, but we can't. That's okay. We definitely need to investigate what happened with the stealth. There's no doubt about that one.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, the Centurion is going to move its way over here. And, yep, that's irrelevant to us. We don't care about that. Mobile HQ, we don't care. In fact, basically nothing here do we care about. Because we're out of here this round. And yeah, we'd like to get some salvage over here, but with our current level of damage, I'm completely fine with this. We've got some decent salvage as is. Okay, let's get out of here.
Mission successful.
So we do get the bonus, and that's good because we're going to need it to try to help pay for repairing the stealth. The real question is, what did happen to the stealth there? All I saw was a left arm destruction, or maybe a right arm destruction. It was an arm destruction, followed by an engine destruction, which is odd. I mean, there's going to be some damage transfer into the torso. So, let's see here. What? It took no internal damage in the torsos. Both arms were blown off. And apparently we lost the heatsink kit as well. How exactly does this happen? If there's no internal damage to the torsos, how does an engine crit happen from losing an arm? That's the question. How did this happen? It does have an XL engine. And there was some damage that was transferred here. So maybe it was just a through armor critical that was incredibly unlucky? That's the only thing I can imagine. Is just an incredibly unlucky through armor critical. There's a lot of Centurion parts, and I'm tempted to take them. That's a 55-ton variant of the Centurion, and I would like to get that. So that's 4 Centurion parts. And do we want anything else in here? Small laser blaze fire, heavy rifle, meh. Medium pulse laser isn't terrible. Snub-nose PPC is pretty good for what we do. We'll grab that for now, and we'll see what else is in here. Up to an engine core 220, I think we'll roulette those. The hatchet would be good for us too. How much damage does that do? Plus 0.06 base fizz and stab damage per mech ton. Deals 60 damage when used for physical melee attack. That's better than the snub-nose PPC, I think. We're going to take the hatchet. Where was it? Oh, the double heatsink kit. Do we have a double heatsink kit? We do have one. Okay, so we're going to take the hatchet, and we'll see what else we get. We got the case. We got an engine core 180, an engine core 220. Okay, that 315 in the stealth is going to be hard to replace. I misclicked that ammo down below. I'm not sure what I sold there. Unfortunate, but, well, not really unfortunate, but that's more my fault. So yeah, I think it was just an incredibly unlucky through armor critical on the stealth. I was definitely not expecting to lose the engine there. I was expecting to take damage and lose the arm. But lose the engine? No, that was incredibly unlucky, and I would roll that again. Exactly as it was. I'm 95% certain that that was just a really unlucky through armor critical. That just destroyed the engine. But now we have to deal with it, and that's just the nature of the game. So let's just go ahead and go in here, and this is going to be expensive. What's the damage, Yang? 200k? Well, that's not the overall damage. That is not the overall damage. So we're going to bump the stealth and the Clint up in terms of priority. We're going to need to tick forward here. There we go. And we're going to need to work on both of those a little bit more extensively. So the stealth is going to need what? Well, an engine, for one thing. We're going to repair everything here that we can. The double heatsink kit came off. Now, we don't actually have any double heat sinks on here, but we can put the double heat sink kit back on. That's just a regular double heat sink. Oh, we could put a clan heat sink kit on too. I don't think it's necessary. The double heat sink kit, I think, was enough. So we lost the Engine XL, we lost the Engine Core 315. What's our best engine core? 240. That hurts, for sure. That does mean that we don't need to put an XL engine in, which is, I think, reasonable, and we have a quarter ton to spare. No real hard points, except I would like to think about... Maybe we could cram the hatchet onto this, or the chainsaw? That goes into a specialist slot. Let's see, is the hatchet considered an internal? Yeah, that also goes into a specialist slot. So that would go up here. The hatchet would go there. And this will, of course, affect our close range pretty dramatically. In theory. So we're going to be losing some movement. There's no doubt about that. Can we get away with putting on, say, stealth armor? That will require an ECM. And how much would it cost to put an ECM on here in terms of tonnage? 2 tons for the Angel ECM. I think we can make this work. We put a clan endosteel structure on. That gives us half a ton to work with. Then stealth armor. Not enough free slots. Oh, we need slots in the legs. Okay. We haven't had issues with running out of SRM ammo. We could drop the half ton of streak ammo. And we could drop 1 ton of SRM ammo. That gives us 2 tons to work with. Fascinating. We put stealth armor on the stealth. That means that we could theoretically drop the endosteel structure, and then we'd have to drop a quarter ton. We could just put a regular endosteel structure as opposed to a clan on. That's fine. And then we have 2 tons to work with. We could put the advanced AMS on there, help protect this. And it requires AMS ammo. Well, that would be 3 tons. We don't have that. We have a lot of small, heavy lasers available. We don't have hard points to put them in. Indeed. What do I want to do with these 2 tons? We could drop the SRM-2 streak. And the SRM-6. Make this a little bit more focused on the melee attack. With, say, a pair of Rocket 20s. A Rocket 20 and an iRocket 20? We have 8 tons for this, though. That's more tonnage than we need. We could put the chainsaw on, but that's a specialist slot. We could try to put on an Arrow 4. That would be completely useless. I wonder, could we just go up to double SRM-6s? Would we have the tonnage for this? Yes, we would, actually. For double SRM-6. I like it. We drop the streak SRM. And instead, we go for something like this. Ammo SRM here. Ammo SRM here. Half a ton remaining. What do we want to do with this half ton? There's not a lot that we can do. I'd like to up our engine core. That would be amazing. We do have the improved FCS in here right now. We could put in a melee FCS, though, since that's kind of what this is designed for. I do wish we were running a little faster, but that would use up a lot of weight on this. Half a ton. I'd love to just slot in a small laser if we had a hard point for it. We could put in chaff countermeasures. That's something that we can do. I don't hate that. But then the extra half-ton, what do we do with this? There's not a lot that we can do with a half-ton, is there? Like a C3 Master is going to be 3 tons. I suppose we could try to cram case in somewhere. We could put in our SRM ammo somewhere else and case it. But I don't really like that. Like, if it's out here, I feel like it's more vulnerable than when it's on the leg. Now, we can max out this armor. It's only a couple of points. 0.437 tons now. What else can we cram onto this thing? A battle computer? Requires a targeting computer. Yeah, we don't have one of those currently. We just have the fire control systems. So what indeed do we want here? We could just call it good and just live with the message that we're underweight. Hang on. Invalid location. Do we need free heat sinks? We do need a free external heatsink. Okay, so we're going to have to put in a double heatsink somewhere, and I'm going to put it in on this torso, I guess. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to put it in on this torso. Okay, that's a free heatsink, though, so that doesn't help our weight issue. There is mask here. I don't really like mask. It might be good in this mech if you don't get crazy unlucky. I think we just got to take this as is. I don't think we have anything else that we can really cram onto this. I mean, there's no hard points that we can use. The AMS here weighs too much. I think this is it. I don't like having 0.437 tons free, but here we are. Okay, now for the Clint. So what do we need here? This shouldn't be much. It's just this arm here, and yeah, that's not anything. Literally nothing. Okay, sounds good. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to get our stealth back online and head out again. Although, I want to check here. Can we... Ah, we can ready the Centurion 10J, and that is something we're going to do.
That mech you wanted is back online.
Fantastic. What do we want to do with the Centurion J? Well, let's take a look at what it's got. It'll need some repairs here, for sure. Okay. Let's jump these, or dump these jump jets and medium pulse laser LBX-10. For sure. I kind of would love to make this thing be an Aero 4 boat. We could get away with that, too. So the Aero 4 would go there. We would need a pretty small engine in this, perhaps like an Engine Core 175. Like that. In terms of our heat sinks, we would probably want to put in a clan heatsink kit. That would be sufficient. We'd need some Aero 4 ammo, which I believe we have some. Yeah, only 5 rounds. Requires Artemis 4. Right, do we have Artemis 4? No, we don't. So that's not going to work. Okay. We can't get away with an Aero 4 right now. We could, however, potentially get away with another long-range weapon, like the Gauss rifle. Do we have Gauss ammo? I don't think so. Sad. Very, very sad. In that case, we'd probably want to put the LBX AC-10 back on. Do we have ammo for that? We kind of don't. We don't have ammo for a lot of things. Okay. AC-20 ammo. We do have AC-20 ammo. That's something we could do. If this is going to be an AC-20 boat, we probably want a bigger engine than this, if we can get away with it. Perhaps like a 225. And we'll go with just an improved FCS. As far as backup weapons go, we're going to put 2 small heavy lasers in the center. Like that. And I would definitely like to put in the chainsaw for that sweet, sweet close range damage. And then we still have 4 tons to work with here. We are going to have to ditch this, aren't we? How many free heat sinks do we require? We require an external free heatsink, and we don't have a clan double heatsink here. So we're going to have to ditch this, and we're going to have to put in a heatsink. It does make me sad. How much tonnage is in SRM-6 again? Okay, so that would be like 4 total tons. And we haven't put in our AC-20 ammo yet, so I don't think that's a great option. We're going to put in AC-20 ammo, say, like this. That gives us 2 tons to work with. That said, we could put ferrofibrous armor on this, an endosteel structure. This is getting expensive. There's no doubt about that. That gives us a lot more tonnage to work with. And then I think we can safely put on an SRM-6 over here, as well as a single ton of SRM ammo. That would go like down here, hypothetically. And then I would love a half ton of ammo. Unfortunately, such a thing isn't really an option. So we're going to have to go for a few heat sinks here. So we'll put in a heat sink here, a heat sink here, and that's all we've got for heat sinks right now. 0.47 tons remaining. I don't think there's too much else we can do there, in all honesty. I suppose we could cram a case in down here. Not permitted in this location. We could move all of our ammo, say, up over here and case it, but I kind of hate that. If there wasn't a hard point here, I would be interested in doing that. As it is, I think this is the best we've got. Yes, it's going to be expensive. But ultimately, I think that might be okay. We've got an improved FCS in here. We do have a basic cockpit currently, and since they're basic... Okay, that's not super, super helpful. I think this is about the best we can do right now. This is not what I want, ultimately, but it'll do. It'll do. Well, there we go. That's going to be expensive, no doubt about it. But you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time when we work on these repairs and get some additional money. That's going to be interesting. See you all next time.